The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. In the heart of a rolling green valley, where the grass grew sweet and the streams ran clear, lived a wolf named Grim. Unlike the other wolves who hunted with their pack, Grim was a lone creature, his heart filled with cunning and a bitter envy for the plump, carefree sheep he watched from the shadows of the forest. He despised the way they grazed peacefully under the watchful eye of their shepherd, a kind old man named Silas, and his 2 loyal sheepdogs. Grim's stomach rumbled constantly, not just from hunger, but from a deep-seated desire to outsmart the shepherd he saw as his adversary. For weeks he had tried to snatch a lamb, but Silas and his dogs were always too vigilant. Grim grew thinner and more frustrated, his ribs showing beneath his grey coat. One sweltering afternoon, while slinking along the edge of the woods, Grim stumbled upon a discarded sheepskin. It had been left behind after the seasonal shearing, and a wicked idea, sharp and sudden as a hunter's trap, sprang into his mind. "If I cannot defeat the shepherd with speed or strength," he muttered to himself, a low growl in his throat, "I will fool him with cleverness." He spent the rest of the day meticulously cleaning the sheepskin in the stream, then draped it over his own back. He practiced walking like a sheep, taking slow, shuffling steps and trying to mimic their gentle baa. His own voice was too deep, too gravelly, so he learned to stay silent, a quiet observer among the flock. The next morning, under the soft light of dawn, Grim, cloaked in his woolly disguise, ambled towards the meadow. The sheep, smelling one of their own, paid him no mind. Even the lambs, usually skittish, gambolled near him. He had to fight every instinct to pounce. He remembered his plan. Wait until they were all safely in the pen for the night. There, in the darkness, he would choose the fattest sheep for his feast. All day he grazed awkwardly, his wolfish eyes darting about beneath the woolly fringe. He watched Silas, the shepherd, leaning on his crook, his weathered face calm as he surveyed his flock. The shepherd's kindness was what Grim hated most. It seemed a foolish weakness in a harsh world. As the sun began to dip below the hills, casting long shadows across the valley, Silas gathered his flock. With the help of his barking dogs, he guided the sheep into the sturdy wooden pen. Grim, his heart thumping with anticipation, allowed himself to be herded along with the others. The gate was latched, and Silas and his dogs departed for their small cottage on the hill. Darkness fell, thick and silent, broken only by the soft bleating of the sheep and the chirping of crickets. The wolf's plan had worked perfectly. He licked his chops, his eyes adjusting to the gloom, and scanned the huddled shapes for the most plump and delicious-looking sheep. But then an unexpected sound broke the night stillness. The latch on the pen gate clicked open. It wasn't the shepherd. It was one of the shepherd's servants, a young man sent from the cottage. "The master has guests," the servant grumbled to himself, holding a lantern high, "and he's promised them a fine mutton stew for supper." The servant's lantern light danced over the backs of the nervous sheep. He was in a hurry, and not as discerning as his master. He simply wanted the largest, heaviest sheep he could find to impress the guests. His eyes fell upon the wolf, who in his sheepskin appeared much larger and heftier than the rest. "Ah, just the one," he said, pleased with his quick find. Before the wolf could react, to snarl or leap away and reveal his true nature, the servant had seized him. Encumbered by the heavy sheepskin, Grim couldn't struggle effectively. He was hoisted up and carried towards the cottage, his cunning plan having backfired in the most ironic way. That night, inside the warm and cheerful cottage, the shepherd and his guests enjoyed a hearty supper, never knowing the true identity of their main course.